Welcome to another episode of Aggressive Beauty Podcast, where beauty is pain and so is the truth. Got Bestie on the line, of course. Per usual.
Hello.
Welcome to season 2. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for all the feedback that you guys have given. Correct, Jasmine? We're very appreciative of that feedback, aren't we?
We got different definitions of appreciative, but I hear you.
Stupid. But yeah, so this season we're talking about relations and relationships and just covering a few things. If you haven't tuned in yet, definitely click the link in the bio on our Instagram page, aggressive beauty _. Just hit that link. It's going to direct you to YouTube. Subscribe, like, comment. Again, we really do appreciate the feedback, you guys. But yeah, so we're gonna get right back. We're gonna get right back into this thing, you know. So today's topic, we were gonna be discussing setting boundaries, red flags, basically the kind of things that keep us guarded with our friendships and with our relationships. So, Yasmin, do you feel like you trust people easily?
No.
Why?
I feel like I think there's different levels of trust. Mm-hmm. So I don't go in like super suspicious or anything, but I go in like observant, I guess you could say. So like trying to figure out, you know, what type of person I am dealing with. So I guess maybe I wouldn't say that I go in untrusting or whatever, but I would go in cautious with people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's about right.
Okay. So you just kind of watch what they do and how they move and stuff like that. But not just automatically like, this is going to be rough.
Right. It's not automatically like that, no. But it's not automatically like, you know, I'm putting my full trust like with myself and stuff in you or whatever, but it's not on the suspicious tip where I think everything that you say is a lie. I take people at face value is really what I would just say. So whatever you say up front, I'm not gonna, you know, try to nitpick and, you know, go through your social media or nothing like that. Like it's nothing in that realm. So it's mostly just whatever you say, I'm going to believe until you show me otherwise. And I'm a nigga that remembers a lot of shit. And so I can replay conversations. I replay details. I all of that. And so I kind of keep it in the file. Nah, never. Right. But that's not on me. That's on the other person. I can't remember my shit and your shit. Keep your own mental notes.
To be honest, I'm a girl. Yes.
Keep your own mental notes.
All right. So you gonna remember what they say, what they do, how they move. But I got you. I would say that I'm too trusting at the beginning.
Why too trusting? Why would you put that in there?
Because I don't know. I feel like some shit I don't pay attention to until over time. And I'm like, hold on. Then like over time, I'm kind of like, I ain't catch on to that at the beginning. I feel like now I would be more cautious, but no. And I think that's one thing Josh has always told me he was worried about with me when I move on. Because he would be like, you too fucking nice. Like, you're too, he said, it's almost like you don't think shit gonna go bad or you think people are good people. And sometimes people are not good people, Brooke. Like, he'll kind of like, I'd be like, dang. And I'll be thinking, if I'm this type of person, you see this type of person, you automatically think sometimes like, I'm going to get that energy back. Like, this person is going to be honest with me because I'm honest with them. This person's going to do this because I do this with them. And I trust that. And then when I trust that, then it's like, oh hell, break loose. Cause then later on I'm like, hold on, wait a minute, I went too far. Let me back up. It's so funny. There's a meme I posted on Instagram and it said, I be scrolling through these messages trying to see where this shit started.
Right.
Where I should have caught on. But yeah, I feel like I disregard a lot of shit, or I have disregard. That shit won't happen again, but like definitely disregard like a lot of shit.
I think those are two different things though, like disregarding something and then like trusting or not trusting. Like when you say it like that,
how you said, I take shit for face value, like I'm paying attention to what you're doing.
Right.
Like I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna trust what you told me. And I'm really, sometimes I don't pay attention to the actions with it. So I'm just kind of trusting what you say. That might be the issue sometimes, you know what I'm saying, with me. Yeah. So, but yeah, two different things. I'm just trying to make the correlation between the two.
Right.
But let me see. Okay. So when you are dating somebody new, what kind of boundaries do you set in place? That way, you guys have a good understanding of this, what's going to happen going forward. What kind of boundaries do you set? Like, hey, I don't like this. I don't do this. Like what
the first one that came to mind was definitely the boundary with my son. So it's like, like he comes first, obviously, but also there shouldn't be any, especially immediate expectation to meet him or be involved with him at all. Like, so that's a boundary that I set. I also set a boundary about communication. I am not somebody who is going to sit up and text you all day like that, even if it is a weekend or whatever. Like I'm not doing it. I'm so sorry. So now that I'm thinking about it, it's one of those things.
I'm gonna say, I think it depends on the person with you though.
I was just about to say, I was like, when you really think about it, people talk to who they want to talk to, but I don't know if I want to talk to you like that yet. So I set the boundary.
You might not be talking about shit.
Right. So I set the boundary up front, like, listen, I'm not glued to my phone. So I'm not always going to, answer you immediately or whatever. It's going to be lulls in time or whatever. But if I can, and we're engaging, then it'll be different. But I try to set it up front that that's not how it's going to be. And I don't expect you to do this. I don't expect you to always, answer or be at my beck and call either. So I'm gonna set the boundary about it. This isn't a boundary, that I'm just nitpicking, but don't FaceTime me out of motherfucking blue. I don't like that shit.
I'm not prepared. I don't know what's going on. I don't know you. Don't FaceTime me.
Right.
I want to see right. This is a catfish. Huh? People be doing that. That take a lot of time. Obviously, with the whole show, people do that, but it's just like, that's so time consuming. You can't have a life to do certain stuff.
But also, it's like, I get the catfish part, but it's also very much so like, hey, what you can do instead is give me a time. Like, tell me, hey, at 9:30, can we FaceTime? And I'm like, okay, bet, like we can do that or whatever. But I also have a 2-year-old running the fuck around. So I'm not just about to answer the phone, bro. Yeah. But yeah, on a more serious note about like other boundaries though, we're not chilling at your place off rip, right? Like, so a boundary would be like, if we are meeting up, again, doesn't have to be anything expensive, crazy, whatever, but like, let's go out and about. We can go to a park. We can do whatever, So the expectation up front, those are expectations out and not boundaries. But boundary being like, I'm not doing that. And you can't come to my home. Like, I don't allow people, like after that psychopath popped up in my shit, I was like, no. So like nobody gets to come to my place. And I let that's actually caused some problems in dates before where, I've dated somebody for 6 months and it was like, so I still can't come to your place. And I was like, so sorry. I was like, why is that so important to you? And he was like, you get to see how I live. Like, I want to see how, how you live. And I was like,
what is that weird stuff?
Right. I was like, when you FaceTime me, I always answer. Like this is a person that I, had been engaging with. So if he FaceTimed, I would answer. I was like, you see me walking around my home. You see, like, so you not necessarily know how I live, but you know, the environment that I'm in or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, why do you need to be at my place? And if also that was something I let him know up front, like that he wouldn't be there. He thought that over time that would change. And I was like, that's not going to change unless I'm in a seriously committed, relationship. And we are not. And so,
Yeah.
no, not
And he was
coming to my
pissed.
home. Huh?
He was pissed.
I mean, yeah, but he wasn't going to stop fucking with the kids. So he was mad and then he got the fuck over it because what can you do?
You can't do
That's
shit.
what
I told you at the beginning.
are you going to break up with me now? Or are we going to stop fucking with each other now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like now the ball's in your court. Is it that big of an issue for you? I was like, what's your boundary, nigga? Like, is that a big issue for you?
You have any of those? You just a free for all. You could do it all, huh? You don't care. You just reckless out here in these streets. Nah, absolutely. That coming to my home thing. Like my son lay his head here. Like I can't have motherfuckers just run up and through here. Like who's to say you're not a psychopath and you killed me or some stuff like that? Like you heard about that Instagram model that met up with some dude? Like it could really happen. Like sometimes we think we're untouchable. Everybody can get touched. Everybody. So that setting boundaries is really important. I even heard of this girl, she was dating this guy and she lived down the street from the guy, but she told the guy she lived in a completely different city. Okay. So he would be like, come over. So she would wait her little 30 minutes or whatever. And then say, this gas. Da, da, da. Now he giving her gas money. And yeah, she did it all the way. But she's literally up the road. But that's in a way like her boundary, like she didn't want him to know like she stayed that close. That could set up some other stuff like, oh, well, let me just come by you right down the street and how people do. Right. And I definitely, with the dating thing, set boundaries on that because I want to be in a neutral setting. Like that's eventually, yes, I can come to your place, cool, whatever. But like you just off the rip inviting me over and we haven't gotten to know each other. We haven't gone anywhere in a public setting together. Like, no. Like I've talked to people. I even discussed with you like, hey, oh boy, da da da. And you like, girl, if he don't mention that in a little bit here soon, you might as well call that quits because it's like you're doing this build up to where I can come over. Like, I don't want to come over. I never said I wanted to come over. You can send me your address. I'm still not going to come over. Like, there's other things that need to be done before we even get to that point. So definitely a huge boundary with our kids. And
I want to acknowledge that too, because I feel like a lot of guys are like, well, how do I know I even really like you or whatever to be taking you out on a date? So like, that's why, they don't want to put any effort or like money into a date. But it's like, you don't know me. And then your next thing is to invite me into the place where you lay your head. That doesn't make a lot of sense at all, really. And I was like, and if you're thinking about money or, investment wise, it's like, okay, then do something small, like take me to a tea shop, a coffee shop, or again, like a park. We live in Dallas, right? Like, so it's like you have the ability to go to Clyde Warren, which has everything. It's like, there's plenty of things to do. Like you just look it up. It don't take much.
Bro, at the end of the day, motherfuckers is lazy. That's what it comes to. So if you're not going to be some easy ass, then they're not really interested in that. And that's fine. You don't have to be interested.
Plenty of easy asses in the sea.
There's plenty of easy ass. It just doesn't reside here, baby.
Yeah, this ain't where that nigga reside. Ain't where that nigga reside.
And okay, so we just have a few little boundaries. I really am interested in the boundaries that guys set. So y'all, for real, if y'all could inbox me on the Instagram page, aggressivebeauty_, and seriously, let us know the boundaries that you set. Because women are naturally going to set boundaries because we're women. We have to protect ourselves and stuff like that. We're more prone for things to happen to us and stuff like that. So, sometimes guys, that's why they invite you over because they probably feel like
they think they untouchable.
This bitch ain't gonna do that part. This bitch ain't finna do nothing. Ain't nothing finna go down. All right.
Well, a lot of the ops are women now. They be setting you up.
That part. So yeah, like I'm really interested in the boundaries that you set with women. So y'all message me on Instagram, slide in them DMs and let us know the boundaries that guys set, because we can, like we said, we can only come from our perspective and the shit that we do as women. So we'll really be interested in knowing that. But okay, so I really wanted to go over the boundaries that I don't think a lot of people see. You see the boundaries we came up with? See, people don't think about these types of boundaries. And that would be like physical boundaries. That could be, I'm just a real physical, emotional, like touchy-feely person. So somebody's boundaries could be, somebody might set a boundary for me, like, hey, I don't like all that at this time. Or, hey, I'm pissed off, like back up, like you. And when you get to know,
that would be me.
Okay.
So I'm the exact opposite. I'm not naturally physically like super duper affectionate person. And so I do tend to set boundaries where it's like, okay, I'm not going to sit up here and cuddle with you. I don't really care for kissing. Like I have to build up to that, right? Like now, like I can cuddle now and I can kiss with the person that I want to kiss with now, right? But like off rip with people, I do set that physical boundaries. Like don't have this expectation because it makes me uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And like the kissing, bitch.
What is wrong with you?
You know how many germs is in a nigga's mouth, bro?
Hold on. Yes. I know you're not. I know you're not. I am.
I will fuck the shit out of you without ever having laid my lips on your lips. No.
Bitch, no. What you got going?
I know.
You put your mouth in other places.
Yeah.
What you mean? Yeah. You're not supposed to say yeah.
Vaginas are self-cleaning organisms. Organs.
Orgasms.
I will tear a pussy up and not even kiss you.
Okay.
But males? Yeah. Huh?
Males?
I mean, yes. And I also enjoy a good dick sucking.
Okay, like, bitch, but
wait. What is the conversation?
No kissing though?
For a while, yeah.
What's a while?
Now, there are exceptions. There are exceptions.
Like how many times do I have to fuck you before I can tongue you down? Like tell me.
I don't think it's how many times.
Why are you thinking that hard? You really
want
like, this shit.
It's probably like how good you fuck me. Then I'm like, okay.
You know what?
Or you can entice me with my own juices. Like come up from air and just be like, I'm like, yeah. Share that shit, nigga.
I'm gonna let you be great on that kissing. I'm gonna let you be great.
But I grow like I can't grow into it, right?
Mm-hmm. But off top, hell no.
Off top is like that's one of the boundaries for sure. I ain't say it makes sense. I just said that it's what it is.
At least you're honest. So another thing is gonna be like a huge one. You definitely know this is emotional. And that goes into me trusting people with information that I feel like may embarrass me or make me feel some type of way or might belittle me or anything like that. Yeah. And if I share that information with you, then I really, really fuck with you because I do not do that. That's one thing I do not do. I'm not. I mean, even when we talked about it before, remember I was like, bro, I feel like, I said, I've always felt like this and I never told you. Like, I always felt like I'm coming to you and I feel like you're way more put together and I might come to you and confide in you, but I never really, you said, nah, bitch, hold on, let me get you a story. I said, oh, okay, I feel better.
Yeah, because I don't be thinking about my stories. Like, I'd be in the middle of my shit and just be zooming through that shit or whatever. Yeah. But no, I don't ever try to make you or anybody else feel like I'm too, I feel like that's the feedback I've gotten before from, a lot of different people. It's just like, oh, you seem so put together. I'd be like, I got a lot of shit going on over here, over here too. It's messy, but I try to, got to step out the house and have it together. So
right, absolutely. Yeah, because my shit, I'll distance myself. When you don't hear from me, you probably like,
yeah. What's going on?
I can't hide it. Hold on, I can't hide it good.
I'm over there with a bottle of wine and unload.
You stupid. But that, girl, that definitely, like, that emotional shit is real, especially like when you get into it with people and they bring that shit up, you be like, oh, yeah, I kind of fuck with you. That's like a huge thing for me, to where like I'll be like, yeah, you'll never know anything else because of
right.
Because that's just, but you got to know your person too. If that's like a low blow for them or whatever, then yeah. Time is a good boundary. Like, that's a good boundary to set. So like making sure that you have time to yourself and make sure you're prioritizing the time that you have with somebody else, and making sure that you're giving them the time to make them feel important as they would do for you. So just those few things that I definitely can relate to and I understand. And then we have. Oh, you on there, baby? That's you.
Friend does have my name on this.
It do.
So there are sexual, intellectual, and material boundaries. So sexual boundaries, talking about like what you prefer, how comfortable you are. That is really important. I feel like a lot of people don't like feel good about this, or they say, or they say that they don't feel comfortable, or they feel like it's going to take people out of the mood to ask about very serious shit like, what's your STD status? When's the last time you've been tested? Like, that's a boundary for me, right?
No, we need to be comfortable with sharing that.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be a sexy conversation. It's in the middle.
I'm concerned if you don't have the app on your phone.
What app?
Like your chart or something like that. Like, you don't have your
tracking when you
readily available. I'm concerned a little bit, because I kind of feel like you don't go if you don't have that.
Or when a motherfucker just tell you, it was like, yeah, like I got tested and I like everything is good, and I'm like, so how did you get your results? Because
you find out.
I was like, in this day and age, it is very much so on your phone. Right. Did you have to go back into the clinic for some reason? Did they have to tell you something, or like in person? So like what is it? So it's like, if you have been tested, then it's very much so should be readily accessible.
I will say that I feel like, do you know a lot of men that have that on their phone? Like, I just don't. Like,
I wouldn't say a lot.
I know a lot of women, but I just don't know a lot of men that do have, that give two fucks about it, I guess.
Yeah, no, I know somebody who like had it, was able to pull it up, right? Like, I have mine like screenshot in the picture, so I don't have to go through the login process and shit or whatever, right? But like, he was able to log in and show his. But I had somebody who was like, I haven't, recently been tested, but we can make it a date. Like, let's go together. Here's a free clinic or whatever. We could do this together. And so like, I can appreciate that. So when you, again, if you really ain't got nothing to hide, or if you are as regular, quote unquote, as you say you are, then it shouldn't be an issue. And to be clear, just because you have negative results does not mean I'm going to fuck you raw. Do not do that. Like, it's like, no, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Thanks though. I appreciate that. But yeah, so that setting the sexual boundary in that way, but also what are you comfortable with? Having the conversation of what type of sexual positions you're comfortable with, what gets you there, like all of that, right? I have people who, their boundary, not a boundary, right? But maybe, kissing gets them going. And I'm like, damn, but kissing is my boundary. So like, where's the compromise? Can I give you a peck on the cheek? Like, is that enough? And can I, what else can we do? Like, is there anything else? How intimate does it have to be, right? But but also consent goes a long way with there. So it's like, do you like playful nose? Like, what does that really mean?
I'm good on the anal though.
Yeah.
You don't get no consent there, brother. I'm just not with it.
It's just a hard no.
That's a hard no, bitch. I can't even, I can't. You know how I can't even describe.
Likewise, but also, you know,
and you a tough bitch. You a tough bitch over there.
Hey, can't do it. Can't do it. If everything else I have to offer ain't enough.
Regular for some people though. It be regular for people. That's regular.
Some people, yeah.
I can't do it. Okay, that's my boundary, y'all.
But yeah, so you have those boundaries. And yeah, I think just generally speaking, that's probably a good cover. I don't have to go into detail about what mine are personally, but generally speaking, talking to your partner about what you do like, what you don't like, and also understand the difference between like soft boundaries and hard boundaries, right? Like hard boundaries are absolute no. It's like we're not doing this. Like I like been there, done that. I'm telling you, it's a no. A soft boundary is like, maybe I can work up to this or whatever, but let's talk about it a little bit more. Maybe I can be flexible. And I think that may be like different type of boundaries across the board, not just sexual ones, but that's the one I think of, you know, more readily at this point. But like there are hard boundaries and there are other ones that can be a little bit more flexible or fluid. What?
I got a hard boundary.
What?
Oh, I ain't gonna say that. Never mind. Go ahead.
No, bitch, you stopped my whole monologue for that shit.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, what is it?
But you remember that video I sent you? Like, I can't do that.
What video? The look ain't gonna get it this time, friend. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
What's the video? Help me.
The video I showed you with the I told you before I sent you. I said, bro, I'm really, really open-minded. But this shit right here that I have witnessed,
he wanted you to fuck him in the ass. Is that we're discussing?
Right. I can't. Yeah. Like, I'm so ashamed.
What shame about? I enjoy that shit, but everything.
What's our safe word? Lemon. We need something.
What my girlfriend's favorite is bukkake. So
it's what?
Bukkake.
Oh, yeah. You're never gonna be safe with her because you're not gonna fucking remember that word.
We remember. We remember. Okay, it really is very, very open.
But no, anyway, I can't do that because it's taking away the I told you the masculinity part, the dominant part that I just like
that you prefer, right? Like, and that's your preference. You want somebody, and absolutely. For you, take away from masculinity.
I can't do it. I don't care who else do it, of course. Right. But go ahead.
Do you want to unpack why that's equated to masculinity for you, or was that for another episode?
I just want to violate it because that's the point.
I don't fucked in the ass does not mean that you're not.
Sorry, I'm not gonna say that. That was incorrect for me to say. My thing.
I gave you the platform back, bro, to come back.
I appreciate that. That's not what I meant to say. I meant to say that I do not want to do the dominating in the bedroom.
Yes.
And that makes by doing that, I am, and I don't want to.
Yes. No.
Correct. I do my part. That ain't it. There we go. So I appreciate that. I like how you threw that back. I appreciate that.
Because I will also say the people that I did that to were not people that I was in relationships with, because very much so like you in the bedroom, I prefer to be dominated. So if somebody asked me to do that, I'd be like, okay, this isn't my cup of tea, but I can get my rocks off on it.
I got you. We're gonna be together after this. You know that, right? None of that. I got you though. See, you could do it. You do that, bitch. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, so then the next one you have is intellectual. So respecting points of view. So boundaries around that, right? Like, so it's a difference for me. Respecting people's like, you know, political views or religious views, whatever that may be, right? But it's a hard boundary when those views impede upon my my queerness, my blackness, my femininity. Like if you start to impose on like rights, then that's a totally different conversation. Then that there is no like respect there, because you don't have respect for me as a human being.
How could somebody, so basically nobody could think any type of way about those topics? Like,
no, they can
like, how could they say, what could they say? How could they propose a different view to you without you being offended?
So like I'm not a religious person. Like I consider myself to be more spiritual, right? And so I have friends who are like devout Christians. And so they have belief systems set up and practices in Christianity, right? But they don't necessarily subscribe to, oh, well, because you're homosexual, you're going to go to hell. They are more individuals who are like, God created you, God loves everybody or whatever. It's not our place to judge. So like it's that type of thing where it's like your belief structure, if it's not rooted in, love, equality, and openness, then no, I can't fuck with you. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm not putting a value judgment on it. I'm saying that you won't be in my life. So that's not even necessarily about being offended or not. It's like, oh, you can't work with this. Just like somebody who would believe, like, oh, you are only worthy, because thinking about the Will Smith, Jada Pinkett, and Chris Rock thing, right? Oh, you're only worthy of protection if I'm the only one you fucking. Like that was what Plies was trying to say. So Plies put that on there and was like, I'm not protecting nothing. I'm not the only one fucking. And it's like, first of all, bitch ass nigga, nobody gives a fuck about you in that way. But secondly, you just said that Black woman was not worthy of protection or love or whatever, because they had an open, honest conversation and agreement about opening up their marriage.
That's the problem. People are going by the shit that society says they need to be doing versus the shit that works for you. Right. And that's the huge thing. Cause I feel like that whole dynamic with August and all that, I feel like he knew all that shit. Like, cause they open, like, why are we, you know what I'm saying? Like, why is that an issue for y'all and it's not an issue with them? Right. That was stupid. But anyway, I'm gonna get into the slap. I ain't never asked you how you felt about that, because
that's not even part of the conversation. Yeah, that's not our topic.
Yeah, let's go back. Let's go back to the list.
Yeah, but so that's what I mean by like setting those boundaries about political beliefs and religious beliefs or whatever. It's like I can exist with people who think differently than I do. Like that's part of living and expanding your horizons and being around people that challenge you, right? But I think that's a very different conversation when people are disrespectful.
What is that?
Girl, listen, those are my emails coming through. I apologize, y'all. Right. But yeah, so that's what I mean by that.
So like, as long as they're not being disrespectful towards you, and okay, I'm just gonna throw you an example. So you have any friends that were like Trump supporters?
I did not have friends who were Trump supporters. I do have friends who are Republican. Okay. So they have a different political philosophy than I do, but they didn't support him because of, again, so that's what I mean. That's like problematic differences, right? But to support somebody who like is rooted in like hatred like that, like that's different. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So like so that's why I mean like where there's a boundary there.
Gotcha.
And so what do you say? The next one is material, what you will and won't share, permission to use things. Can you tell me a little bit more what you meant by that?
Yeah. So like, I'm just throw something simple, like your car. So you got a brand new car. You don't drive that motherfucker. You don't want your husband to drive it. You'd be like, look here.
So I will say this. So was married and we never had joint bank accounts because that was my boundary. I was like, listen, I know how this can go. We don't need for it to happen. Like whatever we need to share, we can send money back and forth. We all got Zelle, PayPal at the time. With like in the beginning of it, I don't think we had actually Zelle or PayPal. We were literally writing like checks back and forth
to each other. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. It's like my little Tweety Bird checkbook.
Girl, you was like, how much was some groceries?
Here you go. Exactly. So like that was my boundary, right? Another boundary. At that time, like we have each other's vehicles, we drive each other's vehicles, but again, poly relationship. So I was like, I don't mind if you ever need to use my truck or whatever. Can't have a bitch in my truck. That's That's just how I feel about it. Right, wrong, and different, however you want to feel, just like he wouldn't want nobody, like anybody that I was talking to or dating in his car. So like that was the boundary. If you drive my shit, I ain't saying this is right or wrong or indifferent either, but I don't give a fuck what my gas tank was on. Fill that bitch back up when you drop it back off.
Let me know you're thankful.
Right. And then in the household, it's like, don't open nothing and don't have the last of nothing. That's it. Don't open.
Oh, what?
White chocolate macadamia nut cookies is my motherfucking favorite cookie. If that bitch ain't open, don't open that hoe. But if it's open, you can partake. Just don't eat the last of my shit either. So that's what I'm saying. Don't start none. Don't end nothing. You can indulge in the middle, but don't start none. Don't end nothing. That's it.
That's good though.
That's all the material stuff.
You have to have an encounter like that first and address it first before it had to be bad.
No, I did. No, I did. It wasn't that bad because I was like, I did not think
fuck ate my shit.
There ain't no who. It's just us. It's just us. There's no question.
What if that nigga came downstairs like, oh, what?
He did. It tried to be. Was it the? It wasn't open already.
Bitch, I'm finna die on this camera.
You knew you had to tear it open. What you
thought it was open already. I thought.
The other part though is this the other shit that he tried to pull. Well, it was 2 packs in there, so I ain't think if I open this one. No, don't open no package.
That's a good one though. That was good logic. I like that one, bro. That was a good one. If it's why
it didn't go bad. Okay, I just was like, for future references, don't let that shit happen again.
Y'all don't open the motherfucking cookies. If they ain't open yet, don't open the motherfuckers. We do not need we want a peaceful night.
Oh, it's mostly because that nigga used to be like, I'm on a diet, I'm not doing this. Like, well, you on the diet, I'm not. So I got a motherfucking white magazine. And then my shit open, I'd be like, what happened to the fucking diet? Well, why you got groceries in here? Why you got these in here testing my temptation? So now I'm responsible for a grown ass man.
Absolutely.
Now it's on me.
It's on you. I was done like that before too. I don't like it. Like, why you buy these wings? I don't even supposed to be eating meat. Why you buy? Let me get a bite. I just want a bite.
Look at yourself.
Let me get just one more. After that, I'm like, okay, now it's over. Thank you. Okay.
But yeah.
All right. Those are some really good things, though. I didn't even think of those. That's good.
But those are probably the only ones, though. But now it looks like we're moving into red flags. So is there anything that you do that's problematic and can be alarming to others? Because I know you're toxic. I don't know if the rest of these motherfuckers know you're toxic, but I know. I'm gonna stand beside her though. That's my best friend. I'm gonna stand beside her.
So much. I appreciate you so much. I think when I'm dating, something that might be a red flag to people is my relationship with my son's father. They don't like that. They don't like we're cool, you know what I'm saying? And they just, kind of sided. I don't think they're used to that those type of relationships to where like it don't have to be.
Shout out Josh. He is a cool ass nigga, but also Josh also had problems with my friend being friends with this. Cause my friend cool as hell. Like she can vibe out with a lot of motherfuckers or whatever. So now I think it's funny how she was on the other foot. It's like, oh, he's the friend. Now he's the cool one and shit or whatever. And other motherfuckers
now he's seeing that, yeah, motherfucker really be friends with the opposite sex and nothing. Yeah, now he's really seeing. I think sometimes, but our relationship might be a red flag to some people, which I mean, I try to make people feel comfortable with that, but it's only so much I can do. Like, I don't want to feud with him, or you know what I mean? Like, we have
somebody you got to deal with for the rest of your life, girl. Right. So
I don't want no problems. You don't want no problems. Let's keep
it cool. Good for your son.
Absolutely. He needs to see that we can get along, and I don't say anything bad about him in front of him. Like, but still, some people look at that as a red flag sometimes. So they'll be like, he know when to back up if I'm in a relationship and all that. Like, he respect all that. Mm-hmm. So I think that might be a red flag. I think another thing is, when I get in arguments, I just don't do a lot of back and forth. Right. So you can do all this hurtful shit with words, all that. at a certain point, I'm going to stop talking. I try to keep my hands to myself. I really do.
But capital T, capital R, capital Y.
I just, don't tip me. Like, I don't mean to be like that, but I'm just saying, like, if I'm feeling like somebody's attacking me or something like that, and I just don't do all that talking. So that could be problematic because you're like, oh, keep your hands to yourself. Okay, keep the words to yourself too. Yeah, I know you didn't put your hands on me, but stop playing with me. So that might be something. And then another thing that I've heard is just really, really emotional. I'm just a person like, and that might come into play with why I end up putting my hands on somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, like I really feel my feelings, like, and I need you to understand them. And I need you to know, like, there's certain lines that you don't cross. There's certain shit that that goes back to the boundaries, the emotional shit. Like that's where my shit come into play. And now my reaction has become a red flag to you because you disregarded the boundary part. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I would say like my emotions, relationship with Kim's dad. I don't know. I think that's what do you see anything else in me up
there? No, I think my homegirl got all the green flags. Like, where the real ones at? My colorblind nigga? So don't ask me what these niggas give you. What's the feedback they give you? That's what you need to be going by.
They don't be
I'm biased.
They be quiet. They be quiet. I'm sure when I leave, they get to talking again, but they be quiet. But yeah. What do you think yours are?
Listen,
I love you. I do, but I know you.
Help me understand, right? Because I mean, listen.
I'm trying to say you don't play that shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, I'm trying to understand like what a red flag could, really could be about a bitch, but
anger in there, maybe.
I mean, it can't
not really an angry person though. It has to be a fucking situation.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Somebody did something. Maybe not as patient with the bullshit, but I
don't give a lot. I don't
even want you to be patient with the bullshit.
Huh?
I said maybe you're not as patient with some bullshit, but why you gotta be patient with bullshit? So I don't know.
Let's see. I should have asked some people about this before.
What about your exes that say you crazy or something?
I mean, they say that, but
Jasmine crazy, bro. Jasmine crazy. She was bad for you, bro. Just leave her alone.
Listen, every one of them, including some of their homeboys, still come back. Let me tell you, okay? So it's like, so was it really a red flag, or were you just not prepared to step up to the plate when you had me, my nigga? That's what it sounded like to me.
I'll be back when I'm ready. I'm not ready right now.
That's right. By the time you come back, I'm like, what? What was this?
This is causing me to level up too much and I'm not prepared. I didn't know it was going to be like this. I thought it was going to be smooth.
I will say this. Maybe some level of controlling, and not controlling in the sense like I'm trying to control your life, but like I think you said it earlier when you were like, you expect people to behave the way that you behave. You're like, if I'm going to be honest with you, I expect you to be honest with me. That's a lot of the expectation I have. I'm like, damn, I give so much. I can, I do so much or whatever. I'm so open. I'm so this, da, da, da. And it's like, damn, why you can't just talk to me? Why you can't do da, 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 da? Like that will trigger the next thing, which is the anger, because I don't like shit that don't make sense. I'm a very logical person and an emotional person. So when shit don't make sense to me, I'm going to try to talk to you first, right? I'm huge on communication. I'm going to try to talk to you. But when that shit don't work out, I too try to keep my hands to myself. Because at that point, I'm like, you playing my motherfucking intelligence. Don't lie to me and don't be stupid. Because you doing any of those two things, then you try to do that whole thing where it's like, you don't want to talk about it no more because now you feel like my points are more valid than yours, or you can't explain it, or now you're getting flustered. Now I want to poke you upside your motherfucking head. That wasn't my.
You do the disrespect. See, when I put my hands on somebody, I'm literally throwing bows. Like, it's just, I'm gonna knock your ass out. Like, I'm gonna try my best. Anyway, don't matter. bitch, you're disrespectful with your shit. You make a motherfucker feel like a little ass kid. Like you'll be like, nigga, did I tell you?
I've had a nigga on top of the head and walked off. Like yeah. And yeah. So, and I'm not saying I'm proud of that or nothing. I'm just saying like I do end up doing that, and it's instinctual because if I throw a bow, the niggas that I fuck with are big niggas. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if I throw a bow and you throw one back, I got to try to kill you. I got to go get something to handle you because now you didn't. I
told you, girl, you got to disable them first. You pepper spray them, they disabled. And
I'm not walking around my home with pepper spray. I'm not on a date with pepper spray. I'm not chilling at a nigga house.
Nah, you need to be at a date with pepper spray and keep your locations on. Boundaries, we need to set them.
Hey. But no, let me get back on track.
Okay.
So in that way, though, when I'm thinking about control, I think a form of control for me is always having all of the information, and I have to understand that not everybody is as open. It doesn't mean that they're doing anything wrong, right? They're just like, hey, like some stuff is my business. I always, make fun of people and just be like, oh, you ain't got no friends, nigga. You ain't got nobody to talk to, But some people do got friends, right? And so it's like, some things you talk to your friends about, everything not for me to know. But I am somebody who feels like they should know everything. And I can admit that. So I think that's a red flag, right? I'm just like, nah, talk to me about everything. And I'm poly. So I'm like, tell me about your date, nigga. Nigga's like, I don't want to talk to you about my motherfucking day. And I'm like, but why? I'm cool. And it's like, it's not about you. That's what I've had to learn, right? My girlfriend tells me this shit all the time. She'd be like, girl, all the shit she's talking about right now, this ain't even about you. Like, I'm mad about this, or I'm mad about da-da-da-da, or
you mad, I won't tell you and express my feelings right now.
And she's like, this shit ain't got nothing to do with you. And I'd be like, well, why don't it?
Yeah.
Again, I ain't saying that I'm right. I'm just saying this how it is. Okay. I'd be like, so why don't it got nothing to do with me? That's a motherfucking problem to me.
That's problematic. You stupid as
so I do think that I try to control in that way, but also because that's a safe space for me. Like I feel the more information that I have, the more stable I feel, the more I feel like I'm better able to make my own decisions or whatever. So it genuinely doesn't come from like a bad place or a place where I'm trying to make decisions for you or your life or whatever. I genuinely just be want to know shit or whatever. And again, like I said in the beginning,
it might be too much sometimes. Like somebody know you feel like sometimes they might be like, damn, I'm telling you every damn thing.
I think that's how they feel sometimes, where it's like, you want to know everything. Damn, like I can't keep nothing to myself. And I'm like, you're right. People should be able to have that boundary, right? Like if that's your boundary, I should be able to respect that. It's difficult for me because I'm like, I'm so cool, I'm so open. But it's like, no, if somebody feels that way, you can't make them, just open up. If they're not lying to you, they're not causing you any harm or whatever, you should. And it's hard for me to accept that. It's really, really difficult. That's still a work in progress for me or whatever. But
I didn't know that. That's why, we always encourage. I feel like, yeah, you definitely are like that because you're very persuasive when it came to us being involved in the group chat with the guys, and they barely added us in there, and then they formed their own separate group chat because they really couldn't talk as freely with us. And I'm thinking like,
they could have, they just didn't like our feedback.
They didn't text all motherfucking day. They must be in a group another bitches. I want to know what's going on. Okay. Right. Absolutely. Okay. That's a good one. That's a good observation. Okay.
My anger issues are not what they used to be. Okay. I will say that. I've worked a lot on myself. I do not poke niggas upside the head.
You don't do candy dishes. You don't.
Girl, that was high school. Oh. Look at you, super duper old shit.
I remember, girl.
I don't pepper spray niggas pillows no more either. Like I don't do none of that shit.
Hey,
I've grown.
You told me you did that. Sometimes I just wonder where you get certain shit from. What made you think of?
I watch TV and I read books.
You've seen a situation to where somebody's pepper sprayed a pillow?
I don't remember.
No, bitch, you came up with that on your own. You don't put that on nobody. Don't put that on nobody. That's your bright idea.
Hey, when you see A plus B, you gotta equal C.
You so fucking crazy.
But I ain't like that no more. You can move on, nigga. We can move on.
You're right.
I'm about to say, you gotta acknowledge my growth.
Absolutely. Used to be real cuckoo. You my bitch. I love you.
Now y'all see all the support that I gave this motherfucker.
No, okay. Anyway, you guys, we're gonna move on. So yeah, some red flags that I've noticed is so when people have participated substance abuse, could be alcohol.
Bitch, you see how long that took? I was like, watch your pause. We recorded. She know that, right? Bitch, I am not a substance abuser. Okay?
I'm just playing with you.
Hey, you playing with me, but these niggas out here who listening don't fucking know that, okay? I had a really long week. I deserve this glass. It's the only drink I had all motherfucking week, okay? Shit.
I'm so dead.
Truth is, I'm tired, okay?
Girl, you be working your ass off, so I understand. If you're not working your ass off, you got a lot of shit to do. Always, you always got something to do. But yeah, so substance abuse. I have dealt with that before. Being involved with somebody that drank a lot, and I feel like that influenced so many things: the communication, money, our finances, all type of shit. Like it will literally trickle down to every aspect in your relationship.
Pause. I'm sorry. I know you're talking about something real serious right now, but I'm holding my head back because I can see my lace front like sliding back. So I'm about to readjust it real quick, but I didn't want nobody. I wanted to address it. I didn't want to just start doing it and then you just bust out laughing that I ain't saying nothing. So I just want to bring it forward a little bit. Okay. It was sliding back. That's why I kept my head like this. And I was like, I can't do this for the whole time. Okay. We're back.
Oh my God. My head hurt right
here. The substance abuse.
I can't, bitch.
It affected all facets of the relationship. You were saying communication.
Yes. Red flag. Yeah, so even definitely alcohol. So when it's I just can't do this.
Okay. Bitch, you better pick another substance.
I'm gonna move on. Because bitch, every time I talk about it, you pick up that fucking glass.
It looks so good. The light shining on it is glistening, pink and red.
You look good. I kind of wish I had some because you're making it look good. You make stuff look good, girl. Okay, so yeah, so the substance abuse, low self-esteem. The reason I say that's a red flag is because I feel like that's going to cause a lot of trust issues.
Yeah.
I've noticed like people saying, "Oh, you're looking at this person because I lack this, so I need to change this about myself, or I need to do this, or you know what I mean." So right. I don't want to be with somebody that's like cocky, like an asshole with it, but like I want you to feel good about yourself. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't, that's kind of like a red flag for me because I feel like there's some work that you need to do on your own. You know what I'm saying? Before we continue. And a huge thing that I feel like I've realized as I've gotten older, I'm so sick of you. A huge thing that I have realized as I got older, codependency.
Yeah.
That shit is tough, bro. I really, really realized that. I feel like even like now, like just throughout the years, like being in relationships with people that are so dependent on me. And then I realized you're so dependent on me because you can't do this by yourself, which is not good. That's a huge red flag for me because I can do this shit by myself. Right. I need you to do this shit by yourself too. So that way, when we come together, it's not you're depending on me, you know what I'm saying, to take care of everything because you don't know how, or you've been dependent on somebody else the entire time before you met me.
Exactly.
That is huge. I don't even think we think about little bullshit of we think about bullshit. We don't even think about that. So I think that's a huge thing.
All right. I think that was a good point. I think something that I may have briefly touched on, like at the last episode, when I was like, when I think we were talking about like what we look for when we're dating. And I was like, I really want a partner so that I don't, all the shit that I do on my own right now, I want to be able to split that, right? Like I want to be able to depend on you like back and forth, like to be able to do that. It's almost like if I'm doing all this shit on my own, how are you not a reprieve for me? Or why are you not like allowing me to like take a load off sometime? And you can't do that if you're also depending on me. So it's like, damn, I was doing all of this by myself. Now I got to still do all of this and a little bit more now that you're here. Like, why? Like you're supposed to be my partner. Like I should be able to play off of you. You shouldn't be dependent on me. Like you shouldn't go from depending on your parents to then depending on me. Yeah, that's not how that should work. So no, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, at some point you have to be on your own and do it on your own. Know that you can do it on your own. Mm-hmm. And then once you have that accomplished, you tag team with somebody, y'all gonna be golden.
Yeah.
Just don't depend on me.
I think another riff, like I think I see is when people try to kind of make you feel crazy for noticing little things, because some things that you end up noticing, your instincts, your gut feelings or whatever, a lot of those you don't always have like tangible proof, right? Like you don't always, but it's like, damn, there's something that switched, there's something that changed and I can't put my finger on it. So you be a little vulnerable, right? And you talk to them about it and you bring it up and they're like, what are you talking about? Like, why are you not da, 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 da? And it's just like, damn, like, okay. So when you mention, going back to the text message and be like, damn, what did I miss? It's like, you didn't miss nothing. Like you probably brought it up or like talked yourself out of it because there wasn't quote unquote like hardcore tangible proof. But then you realize like, I wasn't crazy. Like something did change. And part of the thing that I noticed is that's why I talked about, no, I don't, I'm observant like up front, right? So people like humans have patterns, like the way that you operate or whatever. Even if you're somebody who's like, oh, I'm spontaneous, da 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 da, you still operate under a certain MO or whatever. Mm-hmm. So once you observe that, if something changes, now I don't know which old white scientist this was that said this, but it's like anything that's in motion will stay in motion unless and like an external event like changes it, right? Like,
okay.
So that's the case. It's like, okay, you used to tell me good morning every morning and good night every night or whatever. And you used to be like, when you go out with your little friends or whatever, you would text me every now and again and be like, damn, I'm still thinking about you, even though I'm da da da. And it's like, oh shit, 2 months in now you out with X, Y, and Z or whatever. I ain't got to text, all night. And you ain't told me good night. You ain't told me you was thinking about me. And then the next morning you still ain't said nothing or whatever. And it's like, damn, that's not what so-and-so used to do or whatever. So it's like, then what changed? You know what I'm saying? So for me, that's a red flag, not the change itself, because anything could happen. Right. But how that conversation goes when I'm like, hey, like, what was that about? Because you usually say or do, X, Y, and Z or whatever, but this particular time was different. And it could be, hey, I drank too much. Like, I mixed brown with the clear or whatever, and it was not a good night. It could be anything, but it's like, as long as that conversation for me is a logical one or something that makes sense, then I'm like, okay.
What if it's
but if it's some bullshit, like, what are you like trying to turn it back on me? Like, what are you talking about? Da, da, da. And it's like, boop. All right, I got you.
I see what you did there.
And depending on how it is, I may still fuck with that person, but it will, that's the red flag. That's like, oh, I can't be serious with this person. Like the communicate, because at that point it's like your communication is lacking. You're trying to make it seem like I'm crazy. And you can't just be honest. Like I can rock with you, whatever the fuck. You can tell me that, hey, I saw a bad bitch last night or whatever, took her home, da 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 da. And I didn't like I didn't text or whatever because she was still here. That would have been, and I would have been like, damn. So she had titties or ass, like what?
Right. Like we can realize and they could really, really be honest, like you cool as fuck.
Yeah. So like we could chat, but it's like if you're on some other shit, then it's like, oh, I already see how this is gonna move or whatever. Because you're trying to make it seem like I'm crazy. And it's like, no. If we've been in a flow, if we've been in a pattern, there's a reason why it changed. And it doesn't even have to be a big one. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's something that changing. If you choose not to acknowledge it, for me, that's the red flag, and I just can't do it. If you're another red flag for me is somebody who shuts down in conversation. So I think I pointed that out too. Like I know you're somebody, like you said, that you're in the middle of a conversation. Sometimes you don't want to talk about it, so you walk away. But you're also somebody who turns around and comes back.
I come back.
Yeah, but you spin the block on their ass and come back. Right? But
I feel like it was funny how you had said that's how I go.
Yeah. So it's like, but as long as you come back, I'm cool. But it's a red flag for me if I allow you that space, which is already hard for me, right?
Did you feel like you need to know
immediately, right? I'm like, I'm in the conversation. Why can't you be in the conversation? And motherfuckers be like, because I've had like, my husband was like, I can't think as fast as you. He was like, I feel like I'd be having valid points. He was like, but you be spin your shit out. And he was like, and I'd be feeling like boop, 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 boop. So he was like, I need a moment to get my debate together to come back.
Let him have it.
Right. But then when I would be like, okay, cool, you can come back, I would still be cool, because I'm like, I'm still cooking, I'm still doing whatever, still hee and ha because I'm expecting you to come back. But if you ain't came back in 2 days, my nigga, now all that shit that I was holding in for them 2 days, I'm back like, what the fuck is going on? Now I gave you a motherfucking space. Why it take 2 days to come back with a motherfucking rebuttal?
You had to get that many thoughts together.
Right. So it's one of those things. But it's like if you spin the block, you come back or whatever. That's cool. But it's like that whole not coming back and you just trying to sweep shit under the rug or pretend like things didn't happen. That's a lot from.
It's kind of like playing on your mental. Like,
yeah. Because I think you also say, I'm remembering what you were saying earlier, right? So you were like, your emotions almost come out physically. It's like, I can't hold this shit in or whatever. And I tell people that all the time. It's like, if I'm upset, please talk about it because it's going to come out one way or another. And if we're not talking about it, I'm either going to have to cut this whole thing off because it's going to cause me too much distress, or I'm about to become physical because it don't make no sense otherwise. And so it's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
Why do y'all want to arrive to this location? Why y'all want to do that? Like,
why is this the destination you want to be in? Open your mouth and chat, nigga, or come back. Google some shit. Be like, she said this. What I'm supposed to say back? Do something.
Don't call it
something, but don't just sit there. So yeah, that's probably my two biggest red flags with people. That's it.
Okay. We definitely want to just also touch on any I'm sure you got I know you used to post on Instagram all types of like abuse hotlines and stuff like that. That's really, really important too, because people are in a lot of abusive relationships, physical, mental, emotional, where they're manipulated and all of that. That's really important. So definitely watch out for stuff like that. If some shit happened the first time, shit's probably gonna happen again. Like, because there's no boundary set. Like, almost to where I don't know. I would always want somebody to respect me enough not to have to even go there. But and that is the words and shit that's said to me too that makes me, you know what I'm saying? So definitely that type of stuff. And like you said, the anger issues as far as like somebody getting mad about you, questioning them about, how you feel about a certain situation. Like, hey, I came to you, I feel this way about this, and you're mad.
And it's already difficult, right? Like, it's already difficult to be that vulnerable and admit that something affected you like that in the first place, right? It's like, damn, I ain't no weak ass bitch. Fuck that nigga, I'm gonna go out and shake my.
I swear to God, I was saying the exact same words. I'm gonna say, I'm not no weak ass bitch now. You lucky I said something. I could have just got the back. Stop playing with me.
That's why I try to tell people that all the time. It's like, if I even came to you in the first place about it, don't throw that in my face, because it's already hard enough. I didn't already sat there and was like, should I say something? Should I just be petty instead and just post some shit or go fuck on somebody else or do something else? Like, should I do that instead? And it's like, no, I want to be healthy, I want to be healthy and have a conversation. The moment you
say that's something down, I will say something that is really something that I don't know about you, but me personally, I've evolved in. Like, as I've gotten older, I don't feel like doing that. I don't like getting you back and all. Bro, that shit childish. We not finna.
I don't like getting back to prove a point, like to show. But I will say, it's like, say if I'm tripping about like the scenario that we got or whatever, then I'm like, damn, I'm just gonna go fuck on so-and-so. And it's more like this just to get my mind off of it, right? Like, I'm not gonna tell you I fucked on so-and-so. I'm not gonna tell you I did da-da-da. I'm definitely ain't posting it. If I ever post a nigga, then my page had. So yeah, it's like I'm not posting it or anything like that, but it makes me it distracts me. That's what it is. Like, it's a distraction from being that invested emotionally into somebody. And so to your point, like, I try to evolve to be like more than that and be able to communicate. But if I got somebody who's like, I don't want to talk about it, or why you tripping, da da da, it's like, I knew I should have just fucked that nigga. I knew I shouldn't have said that shit. I knew I shouldn't have opened up to this bitch ass nigga.
No, see, my
like, at that point, you lost me, bro. Like, I'm not coming to you again because you didn't already set the foundation for how that's gonna move. And it's like, I'm good. Because when you tell me that shit, I'm like, you're right. I didn't even keep a P, did I?
Don't even trip. Don't
even worry about it. Don't even worry about it.
Crazy as hell. So, when we do see red flags, there is going to be some ghosting that may occur. So me personally, I have had a situation I'm ghosted. It should just happen naturally sometimes, because it'd be like, y'all, man, I don't want none. But no, like, no, real talk. Like, I was talking to this guy and I just seen too many. When people have to reiterate the type of person that they are to you, I feel like that's a red flag. Yeah. And the reason I say that is because, bro, like, if you're a real nigga, real niggas don't speak. You ain't got to speak on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody that come around, like, they're already gonna acknowledge that, see that in your presidents and your presidents. Yeah, demeanor and all of that. Like, they gonna see that. They gonna see what type of person you are. But you can't go around saying, I'm this type of, I do this and I'm this, and then I'm kind of like, So, and also, I want to be clear on this. I don't just see some bullshit to where I'm like, okay, that's a red flag, and then I'm gone. I wait a little bit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I see if there's multiple things going on. So when you're constantly telling me what type of person you are, it's almost like you're selling yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really like that versus us having a conversation about specific scenarios, stuff you like, like when you're almost selling yourself. So you're trying to prove to me you're this type of person. Then the guy that I'm talking about, he's older. He has 3 kids. And so when you talk about this type of person that you are, and you feel like you're such a valuable being and all this, I just don't feel like you're trying to sell me a dream, because there's no way, like, you're talking about, okay, yeah, $1 million sperm, Listen, $1 million sperm. Why would you have 3 baby mamas? This is sounding very reckless to me. This situation is sounding reckless to me the more that you speak on it. You have 3 different baby mamas. Okay. You've already been married twice. I feel like you're not taking shit seriously. Not to where, like, okay, some shit didn't work. No, you're meeting them in a span of 6 months. You're getting married each time. You have 3 kids, 3 different baby mamas. That's already alarming to me. I'm kind of like, And then you're trying to sell yourself to me. And also, when people reiterate, if they have kids, I don't hear you going around saying, I have such a good bond with Jax. You don't have to say that. People see that. That's something that doesn't have to be reiterated. I don't go around saying I have a great bond with Cameron. When people come around, they see you interact with their child, they know, or not even be around, see how you talk to them, how you follow up with them and stuff like that, how you communicate with them. You don't have to tell anybody about certain things. It's like, you're trying to sell yourself. And you know what?
Who are you trying to convince, me or you?
Right. That's exactly where we're at. And then I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'm good. And then so with that situation, girl, like, motherfucker set up a date. And I was like, yeah, cool. And then I thought about that shit and I was like, nah, I'm straight. Hey, we could do this another time.
So you said another time. You didn't just let that nigga go up there.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Okay.
I did set another time. I ain't do that. Because he wasted my time a little bit, but he ain't waste my gas now, so I ain't gonna do that gas kind of high. So he got enough problems already, it sounds like.
Clearly.
But you the one told me 35 and up. It just sounded a little rough to me.
Listen.
I had to
not a hard rule, okay?
I had to disappear. I can't do it. Like
outliers.
And it was like, oh, the next day, hey, I can't. That and normally I only address things. You was right about me. I only address most of the time. I'm only going to address things with you that I feel like you can change.
Yeah.
Okay. So if it's something
maybe you don't even notice, right?
If it's something that I know that you can't change, like, I mean, this is shallow as fuck, but I'm just saying, like, maybe you got a big ass stomach. That's something that at that moment you're not going to be able to change. Over time you can, you know what I'm saying? But if you don't want to, you're good with that. I can't make you, you know what I'm saying? I can't make you change shit that I'm not feeling about your physical appearance, or even like, okay, well, you're too light skinned for me. Like, I like dark skinned niggas, so you're too light skinned for me. That's something you can't change. You know what I'm saying?
Sunday, then.
So I'm not gonna tell somebody, yeah, I can't do it because, like, that's fucking rude, like that type of shit. But when I did tell this guy, I was like, you know what, you sound really fucking cocky. And I said, I don't feel like you value yourself. I said, it sounds like you're trying to sell me a fucking dream. I said, I feel like you try to kind of like dangle your money or something like that to impress a bitch. And I said, I'm just not her. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I said, because you can have all that shit that you're saying. And I said, and at the end of the day, you can still be a fucked up person. So
100%. Yeah.
On that note, and then motherfuckers still texting and I ain't got nothing to say. I've said everything that I need to say in that one conversation.
I don't even consider that ghosting, honestly. Like, if you gave them like the feedback or whatever.
I mean, you were still writing and I was like,
yeah. But you let them know like, it's over.
They don't out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think I can't even think like of a mean situation to where.
I would say, again, my situation, like I have ghosted people, and most of the times I think it's obvious. Like, they'll, message a few more times, and like, my read receipts on, so they see I got it, because I can't. I don't know what it is, but I can't have their little red number at the top or whatever. So I got to read it, but I ain't got to respond. So you know how I feel already. But I will say one experience that I had that kind of validated that, like, why I don't always, communicate with people. Went on this. I met somebody like from a dating site. We went out. We had a decent time. He did not look like his pictures. And I would say his pictures were him, but they were like older pictures. And I didn't realize that at the time, right? I looked at the pictures. I was like, he may have a shitty Android or something, who knows, or whatever. The camera might be fucked up. But upon seeing him in person, I was like, oh, those were you, just older. Now you do have a bit of a belly, or your hair looks like it's some differences, right? And then on top of that, the conversation really wasn't that great, but I was, still not like, we're out and about, right? Like, so I'm like, I'm still nice.
You gotta take one for the team.
Exactly.
I'm probably not gonna text you after this, but
right. And that's what happened. Like, he walked into my car. I was like, have a good one, have a good one. And then we parted ways, and he did follow back up. And I just kept leaving him on red, because I was like, there's nothing, like, you misrepresented yourself. Like, do I have to tell you that? Like, I shouldn't have to. Your pictures are at least 10 years fucking old.
And so they fail or some shit.
Right. And so I didn't say anything. So he just kept messaging over the course of time. And then he finally asked a question and was like, hey, like, this is how he put it, right? And this is what got me. He was like, I am still out here dating, right? Like, I just want to know what your feedback is or whatever for me. Like, why is it that you chose not to, communicate with me anymore, or go out on a second date or whatever? He's like, I'm just really trying to improve and, and move forward.
Okay, we want to have a serious conversation. I'll text you back.
Look at you.
I'll text you back. I'm all for self-improvement, sir. I got you.
Right. And so in a very kind way, I was like, hey, so-and-so, like, honestly, you know, we had a decent time. Maybe I also didn't like the food. Texas barbecue is bullshit. Don't like that shit. And so I was like, honestly, I was like, it wasn't a great place that we went to. I was like, but also you misrepresented yourself on your profile. And I was like, and then we just didn't honestly seem like we had great chemistry. And so he honed in. Out of those three things I said, he honed in on, what do you mean I misrepresented myself on my profile? I was like, clearly all of those pictures.
Boy, stop playing stupid now.
I was like, clearly all those pictures are like old, like are older pictures of you. Like none of those look like recent photos. And he was like, well, you have some nerve. I can't immediately went in. He was like, you have some nerve. He was like, your hair is different in all your profile pictures.
Did you text me? Number one. You text me for feedback. You want to improve yourself. You know what, bitch? You just wanted a fucking response from me. I could have left you on motherfucking red. You just
as I had been doing. As I had been
I'm
doing.
thinking I'm helping your ass.
I wanted you to succeed in the dating game moving forward.
But you don't want that.
Maybe revamp your pictures. Or
you want to keep this shit going. All right. You're in denial now. Okay.
And so, you know, he was like, your hair is different in all your pictures, and you showed up in a different hairstyle, and you know, you're right, the chemistry wasn't there. So I'm like, if I was right, why are you tripping? But you know what? I was dating a plethora of other niggas at that point. I was like, I don't have the energy to go back and forth with you. Like, I gotta entertain actual niggas that I gotta go on dates with or whatever, which is already tiring, to be honest, you know? So what I'm not about to do is go back and forth with you. So I just blocked him. Because I was like, I was trying to let you have free range, right? I was trying to, you know.
Oh, you blocked him?
I just blocked him at that point. I'm not going to go back and forth with these niggas.
You just couldn't leave red?
Because I didn't want to. He was still going. Like, you're not gonna fuck up my mojo and my vibe. No, block. I don't want no damn message from you, my nigga. No.
Why he just couldn't be appreciative of the feedback? You came to me. I feel like you came to me humble.
And if you didn't come humble, you should have been humble.
Because the pictures did not match.
Yeah, you do. But no, like, and I don't like the term ghost, because people try to make it seem like when you ghost people, damn, bro, was it your mama who told us this in high school when she was like, if you grown enough to date, you grown enough to tell people. To tell them why you don't want to talk to no more. And I was like, damn, Miss Sherry, right. But I don't want to talk to this nigga no more.
When I disappear, they'll get the picture. That's it. That
was some wise words. But we still ain't taking it right.
You feel like somebody ever ghosted you? I know. I'm thinking of a nigga right now that ghosted me.
They ghosted me?
You know what's funny?
I've been blocked.
I bet, bitch. I bet you have.
I've been blocked.
Nothing ass nigga. You know what? Once you get to going, it's only option. Only option is to block.
In my old days, I just want to be
getting abused. Okay, yes, back in the day.
Yeah,
I can't take this mental abuse right now.
But I don't think I've ever been ghosted. I can say that. I don't think I've ever been ghosted, but I've been blocked.
I've been ghosted, bitch.
Yeah.
But the nigga back.
Spent the block.
Always come back. They always spin a block, bitch. They always spin a block. But now I won't talk to you no more because you ghosted me. I'm ahead in my mind, baby. Nah, I'm fucking around.
Silly.
All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode with our boundaries we set. Red flags and all that good stuff. Our little story time. We always have funny shit to say. I just don't be knowing about all that. My friend is funny, aren't you, friend?
Listen. You know we're gonna let it go. I wasn't right about. So y'all said we was gonna be accepting feedback. Nigga told my friend that I wasn't funny. And let me tell you something. I'm not a funny ass nigga. I'm not a hee ha ha. You see what happened to funny niggas? They get slapped. You saw what happened to Chris Rock on the on the Oscars. You know, niggas out here get slapped for being funny. Okay, I'm not a funny ass nigga. Okay, you got 2 bitches on these motherfucking podcasts. You want funny? You listen to Brooke. Okay, you listen to Brooklyn. here and she gonna give you the jokes. I'm not here to be funny, nigga. That was like a joke to you.
I know you didn't. Nah, you did that. You stupid as fuck. Oh my God. Thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in to our episode. Definitely subscribe, like our posts on Instagram, watch our videos on YouTube, leave us some comments. And guys, please do not forget, inbox me. Let me know what boundaries you set for females, because we're still interested and we're going to bring it up on the next podcast. Absolutely. And next week we're gonna skip a week, so it's gonna be 2 weeks to the next episode.
I'll be in LA.
Sick. She's gonna be out there recording. I'm sure we're gonna catch some videos of some of her. We're gonna figure it out.
I'll be low-key.
A little bit of spine. Yeah. But yeah, so she got shit to do. We're gonna take a little break or whatever. So it'll be 2 weeks. That's fine. You know what? You can catch up on all the other episodes that you missed.
And leave some, write in some stories, write in your responses, give us some feedback, answer some questions, do whatever you need to do in that time. We're giving you some time to catch up, okay?
We just want you to process it and everything. Absolutely. All right. Well, again, thank you guys for tuning in. And remember, beauty is pain, and so is the truth. Bye.
Bye.